Title: Moonlit Howl. In the quaint town of Eldridge Hollow, nestled between dark, whispering woods, tales of the supernatural filled the crisp evening air. However, the most notorious of these tales was that of the werewolf. The townsfolk would often speak in hushed tones about the creature that roamed the forest on full moon nights, a savage beast cursed to walk the line between man and monster. But to 17-year-old Clara, these stories were just that, stories meant to thrill and chill, not realities to fear. Recently, Clara had been feeling a growing sense of unease. It started after the festival celebrating the harvest moon when she met Lukas, a brooding boy with striking blue eyes that reminded her of the sky on a clear day, yet held an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. He seemed different, almost otherworldly, and the way he avoided contact with the town's legends intrigued her. One evening, drawn by an inexplicable urge, Clara ventured into the woods. The moon hung full and bright, illuminating the path ahead. She had tried to dismiss the warnings of her friends. Stay out of the woods during the full moon, they said, it's not safe. But the thrill of the unknown compelled her forward, her pulse quickening with each step. As she wandered deeper, Clara's mind filled with images of Lukas, the way his voice had hung heavy in the air as he spoke of the forest's history, and the flicker of something wild lurking beneath his calm exterior. She missed him. He had seemed distant since the festival, avoiding her gaze, his smiles growing infrequent. Suddenly, a rustling noise broke the stillness of the night. Clara's heart raced as she froze, straining to hear over the pounding of her pulse. The rustling grew louder, drawing nearer, followed by an unsettling sound, like a low growl. Panic surged within her. She turned to flee but felt a chill grip her heart. The moonlight illuminated a tall figure, half hidden among the trees, its eyes glowing with an eerie light. "Clara!" A deep voice called, breaking through the haze of fear. It was Lukas, standing barefoot in a clearing, his expression twisted in a mix of desperation and something darker. "You shouldn't be here." Before she could respond, the shadows around him shifted and blurred, morphing and contorting until the figure before her was no longer the boy she admired but a towering beast with matted fur, where once smooth skin had been. A werewolf. Her heart dropped with both horror and an undeniable familiarity. "Lukas," she gasped, realizing the truth buried within the fables. He was the monster that haunted her dreams, prowling the woods on nights like this. The realization dragged Clara into a whirlpool of emotions, fear, betrayal, but also an unexpected pull towards him. "I'm sorry, Clara, I didn't want you to find out." His voice carried a pleading edge. "You have to leave. The beast won't recognize you, and I can't hold it back." Quote, Clara stood paralyzed, wanting to believe in the boy who had captivated her heart, yet fearing the beast threatening to embrace the night. The wolf within Lukas snarled, revealing rows of sharp teeth, as he struggled to maintain control. "Run, you must go, now." His body trembled, caught in the painful battle of human will against primal instincts. In that moment, instinct took over. Clara turned and raced deeper into the woods, the howls of anguish of a young man fused with the howls of a beast echoing behind her. The forest closed in, branches clawing at her skin, as she stumbled through the undergrowth, breaths coming in ragged gasps. But something drew her back, a tether of devotion despite the fear clawing at her mind. The stories spoke of a curse. She had to know if there was a way to break it. She couldn't leave him to suffer the torment of darkness alone. With newfound courage, Clara halted and made her way back to the clearing. The sight that greeted her was almost unbearable. Lukas, partially transformed, wrestled with the beast within him, eyes wild with pain and desperation. The moon glared down upon them, illuminating the struggle that bruised both body and soul. "Clara," he cried, his voice wavering. "You shouldn't have come back." Instead of running, she stepped closer, extending her hand. "Fight it, Lukas. Please, you have to fight." As she spoke, she saw a flicker of hesitation in his wolfish eyes. "Stay back. You don't understand. I do. I want to help you." Her chest tightened, and for a moment, they locked gazes, she searching for the boy she knew, and he searching within himself. For an eternity that lasted mere seconds, the air changed. The glow of the moon seemed to dim, shadows swirling as if they were alive. Clara's heart ached for him, the battle raging right in front of her eyes. In that moment, she believed that love could transcend even the darkest of curses. With one final howl, the beast roared into the night, but Clara stood her ground, whispering his name, encouraging him to embrace the light within. Suddenly, the beast crumpled, letting out a pained whimper. Lukas fell to his knees, shaking like a leaf, the wolf retreating. The change back was agonizing, but with each passing second, Clara could see him returning. His body began to settle, fur receding, until the boy she cherished emerged, exhausted but human. "Clara," he rasped, his voice hoarse but filled with relief. "You broke the curse." Quote, in that haunted forest, under the watchful gaze of the harvest moon, Clara and Lukas clasped hands, two souls intertwined against the darkness. They knew that the battle against the curse was not over, but together, they could face whatever horrors the night might bring.